Let's get after it.
Cool. All right. Welcome to another episode of the Grindhouse Podcast. I'm your host, Edwin Cabrera. My co-host across from me is Chris Martin, aka Critta. What's good, bruh?
What's going on?
Chilling, man. We got
We
some
got
things to talk
haircuts.
about.
We got some
we got
haircuts.
We're looking good.
We're looking
you know.
better than we were looking, you know. So that's good. You know,
I would
we're
say-
less of an eyesore for people that. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, my laptop was
No,
being
continue
weird.
with the joke. Continue with the joke. You're nice for people who what now?
No, I'm saying that we're less of an eyesore for the people that watch the YouTube.
Yeah.
But obviously our audio streamers don't watch us, so that good for them, you know.
Okay, Jesus.
Doing yourself a favor.
Way to make me feel
doing
good
yourself a
starting the
favor.
podcast. Jesus Christ. Yo, so all right,
Bringing down the mood.
We got match at the top.
Yeah, there's a lot to cover.
Where do you want to begin?
Today. Yeah, to talk about. Do you want to talk about albums?
You want to go to music first? All right, we can go. Nah, fuck that. Let's go with the crazy shit first. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I'm not smiling because of the situation that happened. I'm like almost laughing at the I don't know, the idiotness of the situation. Like that's
yeah,
all
I mean, I feel like I'm dumbfounded by it. Like I'm so confused by the whole situation. Like Tory Lanez, he is at peak level of his like career. Pandemic was the best thing for Tory Lanez. Like quarantine radio, he finally became independent. Dude, he was on top of his fucking game. It's like, why the fuck would you go and shoot like another celebrity that is on your level? Like, I mean, obviously, why would you shoot anybody? But like,
you think he intentionally shot her? It's all speculation, but I don't.
I'm gonna say that like, I'm gonna hope that it wasn't intentional.
I don't think it was, because
I mean,
I think if she got hit in the feet or in the leg area, it could have been like either like I don't know. I'm not an expert, like a ricochet or like I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's hope he wasn't trying to like make her dance. He was like trying to do like the make you like dance, like the fucking.
Yeah, I hope it wasn't like him like being like joking around shooting a gun, because like that's not.
Who like when you have
cool.
a gun and you're drunk? Who the fuck knows? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but he put himself in this situation that we're even like speculating about it. You know, like the gun went off. It seems we don't know yet, and so this is all alleged. But it seems like you were the one who fired the gun. Why you would do that in the presence of a woman? Who the fuck knows that? So he's put himself in the situation where now we're speculating because he hasn't come out and really said anything. He's been radio silent this whole time.
Yes, and so I've heard from other like media outlets that they're expecting like some sort of like statement from him, basically saying that it was an accident. That's just what I've heard. Like
over a week now, hasn't it? It's been a week now that we.
Yeah, he's been quiet. It's I think it happened last weekend. But. I mean, like initially.
To me, that shows guilt. It doesn't look good.
Oh yeah, the fact that you're silent.
Shot a woman.
Oh yeah, the fact that he's silent says a lot.
Yeah.
But obviously it's an ongoing case, so I'm sure there's some things that he's not supposed to talk about and things like that. But I mean, like initially, like if you think about it.
Again, that's why it shows guilt. Like I understand that he's not supposed to.
Oh yeah.
Because it'll land him in
100%.
But
oh yeah.
1 + 2 = 3. You know, like it looks like the reason you're not speaking is because if you say something, it's gonna look bad for you. So you're not saying anything. So you shot.
Oh, definitely.
And like
yes.
for me, that's
you
what
shot
I think
somebody.
now. because you haven't said anything. It just like the silence is speaking volumes right now. So, you know, I can't. I don't know if I listen to some of Tory Lanez's music. I can't say like I'm the biggest Tory Lanez like music person. I think he makes great music.
Yeah, I mean, I respect him as a musician, like as an artist, and yeah, I mean, I'm just so dumbfounded by the whole situation because you're on top of your fucking game right now, and then you go and shoot somebody. What are you thinking?
I can never.
What are you thinking right now?
Thinking about this, so I don't know if I'll ever go back. Like unless he somehow cleans this shit up somehow.
Yeah,
like, I don't know if I like. It's the same thing with Chris Brown. I haven't been able to really listen to Chris Brown.
Oh yeah, I can't support.
I feel
that.
gross about putting putting on some Chris Brown music. You know?
Oh yeah.
So
like even on the radio, if I hear his like switch.
Yeah.
You know.
And I honestly think his career has paid the price for it. I don't think he's as big as he could have been. I think he could have very well been like the next Michael Jackson of like the R&B world. But I really do think that it didn't ruin his career because he's so talented that he was able to have a career after the fact. But it definitely hindered his career. He hasn't been the same artist since. He hasn't been at that pop star level since. He's really only popular now with the hip hop community because the hip hop community allows for second chances. They like hip hop is built on people, you know, who have had second chances because whatever, you know, hip hop is a urban, you know, like gritty genre. So it you know, it's more accepting and there's more second chances there than
there's like space for rehabilitation.
You know? So Chris,
thing. Yeah.
Chris continues to live on, but like the mainstream audience, the pop audience, the white audience isn't really there for him anymore as they once used to be. And that sucks because he could have been Michael Jackson. I really do feel like he could have. He's super talented. Guy can dance. Guy can sing. But he's not the same guy. You know, his popularity is a fraction of what it could have been. And I feel like Tory Lanez, he didn't have that audience that Chris Brown did. Chris Brown was a fucking pop star. He was huge. Tory Lanez was still building his brand, and this was the year that he was took it to another level of quarantine radio.
He plateaued.
He plateaued this nowhere near what Chris Brown's career was at the time of the Rihanna incident. You know, and he did. I mean, you can't really do as bad as fucking Chris Brown did. Like those pictures of Rihanna.
Oh yeah, that's
oh my god,
unbelievable.
But shooting a woman, that's like, there's no reason for it. There's absolutely no reason for it. So
yeah, because you're joking around with a gun in your hand, like it's unforgivable. Like I'm just.
You let that gun go off. You shouldn't have let the gun go off. The gun went off.
Bro, you could have killed her.
Begin with, you're at like a Hollywood Hills party.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just have security. He's definitely big enough to just have security who would have the guns, and they would let the guns out if they need to let the guns out.
Yeah.
But not like why are you acting like a badass? Because now everybody's looking at you like a chump, literally.
Yeah.
Like the Shade Room put out this thing that they were like, when it originally came out, they published it. It was like, you know, 5 to 110 pounds or something like that. You know, like just like listing his fucking fighting weight. Like, like who like, okay. I mean, I think the reason they did it was obvious because like, you know, he like, instead of hitting her physically, he like, because Meg is much bigger than Tory Lanez. I think Meg might win on that one. I really do think if they scrapped, Meg
would have that one. Yeah.
So he had to resort to the gun. You know, that's what it looks like. That's what that's what I read it as when they listed his fighting weight.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I didn't know he was that like small, honestly.
Small dude. Chose the gun route.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope that we hear something positive. I don't know, there's nothing positive about this, but I hope that somehow he cleans it up. I don't know what it is. Maybe there was like a third.
Well, I wouldn't say like cleans it up is.
Well, I thought at first. The reason I said that was I thought at first that Tory was like defending Meg's honor, like something went down and he was.
That's what I thought.
And so maybe there's still that because it's not like Meg.
I'm hoping that's the case.
Yeah, it's not like Meg said that like all of what happened. She just says that she was intentionally harmed. I don't know what that means, but maybe there's a larger story.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there is definitely more to it than, you know, him just blasting off a gun at somebody. But yeah, I don't know, man. They were obviously on social media. You could see that they were partying and, you know, they were like all hanging out together. So I don't know. I'm sure drinking was involved and whatnot. So who knows?
I cannot believe the progress that Tory Lanez made for him to like literally just delete it all quickly within months. Like
that's what dude, he became like he was sort of like a character too. Like he was like entertaining.
Yeah.
So like,
and his sidekick. Where's the sidekick at this time?
Yeah, where you at?
What's he doing?
What are you doing now? Still sidekicking? What are you doing?
What's he doing now? Is he sidekicking in jail? Is he there?
Well, I hear that Tory Lanez he posted bail, so he's out on bail. So
you think the sidekick posted the bail?
I don't know.
Yeah, man. Well, anyway, I hope we get some more clarity from the situation. Nobody's really saying anything. Meg just said she was a victim, so we all know she got shot, and that's all we know now. Yeah, it sucks, man. All right, moving on.
Yeah. Okay. So next thing, what do you want to talk about?
Now we got that out of the way. I'm okay to talk about music now. We can switch to music.
Switch to music, and then we'll kind of go back into some news and.
That was like the hottest topic. Everybody's talking about it.
Everybody's waiting for sure.
Just to like, you know.
It's definitely something you can't ignore. Like it needs to be talked about. You know.
Yeah, let's talk about music, man.
Cool. What album do you want to start with? We have about 3 albums that we could talk about.
Let's start with Juice WRLD. I think we should start with Juice WRLD. Let's start with like the mainstream releases, I guess, and we'll talk about our, the local guy, Kaleo, who put out a crazy project.
Dropping the fire.
Yeah. We'll save the best for last. We'll start with cool rest in peace to the 2 artists who, I mean, unfortunately, both their lives were taken away in different circumstances. I still think about how crazy the Juice WRLD death was. In fact, the way he died, getting gunned down. I think Pop Smoke. For sucks what happened to him. Not that he deserved that to happen at all, but like it seemed like he was about some sort of life like that, which I think made him like a target.
They did arrest the people that murdered him. So
with Juice WRLD, he just swallowed a bunch of pills because the feds were on him. It was like a
situation that was completely like avoidable.
Yeah, the handling of the business wasn't being done right. To put such a big name like Juice WRLD in that predicament where the feds are coming after you because, like, I forgot what it was. They were like bringing drugs on the plane or whatever like that.
Yeah, that's the thing about those. People think like because you're on a private jet, like people ain't gonna call the feds. Like FAA shit, like they don't fuck around.
Pilot might be a Trump supporting, fucking MAGA hat wearing piece of shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like you don't know.
Those dudes aren't your friends.
Even if you pay the guy, he's probably still gonna tip him off. They'll take your money and then tip him off. So I feel like what sucks, in my opinion, and maybe I just don't know enough. I'm too naive about this. But what pisses me off about that situation, just his death. Looking back, a year later, or however it may have been even longer than a year now. It sucks. But where the fuck were his people? You know what I'm saying? Like I get that having weed and the whole drug lifestyle is appealing, and when you're on a private plane, that's probably one of the more appealing parts of it. But to get in a predicament where the feds are on you, to not see that happen or be aware of that, or like if you knew that was a situation that could possibly unfold, why would you put your artist in that situation?
Yeah,
Juice WRLD is swallowing a bunch of pills to try to hide it from the feds for like invading them. It's just the way he died, I think could have been avoided had he had like a team of people who were a little bit more responsible,
looking out for him and
artists. Yeah. Don't move like this, or maybe like send this out. I don't know. I mean, for me, like dying over drugs sucks. Being in a situation where you're carrying mass amounts of drugs on a plane is not a smart situation at all.
Yeah.
And I just feel like the death could have been avoided had somebody said, "Hey, this is not a good idea." Maybe we should if we're gonna do this, maybe we should just find a different way of doing it than having it all on us. As the Fed is literally like, we can't go anywhere. We're on a fucking plane, so we're fucked. So anyway, I think about that, how that could have been avoided, how much of a I think Juice WRLD was different, man. I really do think he was different as an artist. And I listened to this
album. I definitely think so too. And he reminds me of like Lil Peep a lot. Like it's the same.
Yeah.
Definitely same vibe. Like where it's like it's the emo rap.
You can tell he comes from a strong. I would say that his influences. I don't know too much about what his influences are, who he is as a person. I just know that he's a beautiful soul through his music. But I would definitely say he's very much emo inspired or screamo inspired, somewhere there in his music. So he definitely listened to a lot of that because this album was more rock than it was rap to me. It was definitely more rock and even like pop. What was it, pop punk? I would say pop punk.
Yeah, it was definitely pop punk. I would say like it. Yeah, sort of like. Yeah, man, it's very much like that whole. Like I feel like that's a whole genre that like maybe we don't explore, but there's definitely a lot of people.
Well, I mean, you
sounds like that, but
I mean, I know it's different because you listen to more like what is it called, hardcore music than pop punk,
like punk or hardcore. But
yeah, but you there's some sort of. What I'm trying to say as a person who's listened to like more than just because I mostly just listen to hip hop. I used to listen to just more than that, but mostly it's been hip hop for me. For you, I think you dabble in the other realms like hardcore, punk music, whatever.
Yeah,
how do you
go
from that perspective? You know, being a fan of both type of music and listen to both, you know, fairly often. How do you feel about his meshing of the genres in this album?
I don't mind it. Obviously, you know, I wouldn't say that I was. Probably in high school, I was probably like fan of like emo stuff, but like generally like I wouldn't say that.
I remember your snake bite piercings.
You gotta bring those back. Snake bite piercings.
Bring back the snake bite piercings.
As a 30-year-old dude. Yeah, no, yeah, man, I think it's cool. Like I don't think crossing those things are a bad thing, and pop punk it and rap, they like a lot of rap has a lot of singing in it, and a lot of pop punk is singing. So for those things to cross doesn't, you know, to me, like it makes sense, you know. Like there's even like some crossovers of like hardcore and punk and rap, you know. Like what's the band that is it Ice-T has? Is it Ice-T or
I don't know.
Ice Cube?
I have no idea.
He has like a punk.
Is it good?
Like hardcore sort of like rap fusion thing.
Really?
Yeah. And there's also a band that I worked with when I worked in like at a punk hardcore label called Cold World, and they had like Sean Price on their record. Wow. It was their record's great, so I definitely recommend like that record. So they definitely.
How do you feel about in terms of so you didn't really like the pop punk factor in Juice WRLD's album?
I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm a pop punk fan, but
I had to skip through a few.
I did like his
skip through a few. I was like, this. Yeah. There was one that was so cheap, and I hate to start with this, because he's passed away. I hate to start like this, in terms of, but I love the overall project. But there was a few records where I was just like, oh, this is not it. This is like if he was alive, he would have deaded this song. This would not have made it on the album had he been alive to curate his own work. Because there was a song on there with like the cheesiest claps. It was just like one of these like Disney Channel fucking clap music, and with a little like guitar riff that was like a simple stupid guitar riff that you can like get from like a stock music fucking site or some shit. It wasn't good. I forgot what song that was, but I skipped right through that. There were some songs though that really touched me. Like the first beginning, like the intro of the album was great. The first 3 songs of the album were great. When you got to the middle, it really kind of went pop punk Disney.
Yeah. Well, I think that the thing was that they obviously like they had these recordings and.
Yeah. Well, and I think they knew his audience. He definitely has a younger audience. Like I'm serious. He has like a Disney audience. Like some like people of all ages listen to him. Because he's pop punk. That's what pop punk is. A lot of like
it's a younger crowd.
Popular, you know, it was hip hop, but then like the other crowd was like the pop punk, like Warped Tour like crowd, and those were like fucking from 12 to like 17. And if you were 17, you were like the elder statesman of all the punk kids. You know what I'm saying? So like that's his like his you know, that's his I think his audience or a lot of his audience, including those in the hip hop community. That's why his numbers are fucking ridiculous right now. 500,000 copies sold in the first like week. Was it like that's ridiculous numbers? But you don't only get those numbers when you're like you have massive audience in different realms, like his Disney Channel audience and his hip hop audience. He has it too. And this album, I think, you know, the people who put it together were definitely cognizant of the fact that he had a massive audience, and we're trying to capitalize off. That's why I feel like there were some songs that I would be like, that shouldn't make the album. That song is cheesy. But it made the album.
I feel like they just put out everything. They were just kind of like, he was working on all these songs. Like, this is what he had like recorded. So like, let's drop it. So yeah,
I think if that was their strategy, they played it well, because he's sold 500,000 plus copies of the record. So
he definitely pulled in some numbers. So yeah, man, definitely respect the album. There's definitely some good songs on there. So yeah, cool.
What about Pop Smoke?
Pop Smoke album. I like it. It's definitely it's the album that I throw on, like, it's my gym album.
Yeah.
Like when I need to be like pumped up, like I need that energy, that's the album I go to.
Yeah. I think my only qualm with the album, and I think the album was pretty good. I think my only qualm with it was I don't think there was like a certified banger that really stood out to me in the album.
Yeah, I wouldn't say there was like that radio hit on it, but like yeah, I mean, and then they dropped the deluxe that had a few more songs on it. Yeah, man, he definitely had some great features too on here. But in the 50 Cent feature, that was kind of cool to see 50 Cent come back out.
That was a cool remix to Many Men. That was dope. I like that song a lot.
Yeah, that song's great. Actually, it's my favorite. Actually, I think it's my favorite song on the album.
I guess I was sort of hoping for more of like just that like really bass heavy drill, like for every song. You know, that's his bread and butter.
Because
drill and his like really like raspy aggressive voice, like that was his bread. So this album, I feel like they like kind of opened the realm up and kind of put him over like different music.
And I think that his voice like complements like drill type beats, those like really trap, like just heavy hitting beats, like because that raspy deep voice just cuts through it, because a lot of people's voices don't, you know, like he's got that strong voice. So yeah, he could have definitely had more of that on there, but overall I like the record. It's a long record. There's a lot of songs on there, and with the deluxe.
Again, I think if had he been alive, same thing, would have been as many. I think a few records would have made the album. Because obviously there's a different group of people curating the music who's not the artists themselves. So just like Juice WRLD, I think that's why you have such a long album, because there's more music, which means there's more money to be made off the album. There's more stream numbers associated with it. And you can try to hit, you know, the streaming strategy, which is try to hit as many markets as possible, just releasing as more, you know, the more songs you release, the likely one of them is going to catch. That's kind of like the motto of the whole streaming era right now. And
definitely. Like the more songs, the more money kind of thing.
Doesn't mean that every song's a banger, which, you know, I don't think that I would say that there was, like I said, there's not one song that really stood out to me as an absolute certified banger. There was a lot of good songs. Don't get me wrong. It was a good album. But not a lot of like certified, like this is like it just wasn't, it didn't top, I think, anything that he already released. But it was a good album overall.
Yeah, no, I definitely like it. Dope. So let's talk about.
I mean, real quick, his death. Just because we know now, we know the men that got arrested. They're all facing life and even capital punishment.
Good.
Just the very sneezy today. Just a warning, I feel like, to rappers who like to post on Instagram, man, you got to be careful. Because the way he died was the fact that literally for a split second, his address was posted on the live stream. And that's how they find out. They didn't have any sort of association with Pop Smoke at all. He was just flossing. He had gone shopping. He bought something with and there was like a gift bag, and the gift bag had his like address posted on it. And for a second, you saw it. People were watching that live stream. They knew where he was, and that's how he died. So just like, man, that's
be careful. Be careful, man.
Flossing literally leads to people dying. Like posting you with the phone with the bricks of money in your hand, like all that shit, man. That never leads to anything good. Never does.
No, it leads to like jealousy and like it's. Yeah, man. He did not.
If you're doing that, you better motherfucking have security. If you're doing that shit, you better have security. You can't be posting shit like that and not have security. Because like.
Do they know what the motive was?
I mean, people are still screaming foul because they didn't walk away with anything.
Yeah.
That could have been for multiple reasons. One, I think there was a lot of people in the house, I think, when the whole situation happened. Mm. And if the whole robbery went awry and they ended up shooting Pop Smoke, maybe because he tried to defend himself, and they killed him, maybe they ran out of the house because now they have a murder on their hands. So that's maybe why they didn't run away with anything. But yeah. I think we know that the way they found where he lived was through the live stream. So, the motive, I still believe myself, and I know people think otherwise, I still believe the motive was to rob him, but things went awry. Maybe Pop Smoke tried to defend himself, and they fucking shot him, killed him, and then we're like, fuck, let's get the fuck out of here. Yeah. I think that's what happened. But who knows? We'll find out soon.
Well, I'm glad they found the people that that murdered him, and yeah, that sucks. It really does. It was his birthday yesterday, I think, and he would have been 21. Super young dude, like had so much potential.
Didn't even have his first legal drink.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to more positive news.
Let's talk about the new Kaleo Jacobs record.
He rapped his ass off, man.
He did.
He rapped his ass off.
I love the record. It's funny because we talked to Wes Taylor like last week, and he had mentioned the record. He said Kaleo is about to drop like a crazy record that has like 16 songs, and he was right. He was definitely right on that. And
he was wrong about the number of songs though. It was 18.
18 songs. He might have said 18. Who knows? I might have made that up, the 16.
I think just throwing numbers around.
Just throwing numbers. But yeah, it was a really great fucking record. There's a lot of songs that I like on it.
Yeah.
A lot of great features of like people around here, around where we live, who are awesome. It's got Names B on 2 tracks. Got West on a couple. Yeah, man, it's a dope record. So what's your favorite song on the record?
I don't know yet. I've only listened to it once. I'm still working my way through it. I haven't listened to everything yet. I think I'm on like track 12. So I got to still get my way through it. I will say, though, that the first 12 songs, dude, this is really like, and I can't wait to finish the whole album to get a full feeling of the album.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of really, really good songs. I'm not sure which one's my favorite yet, but I'll list some of the standout tracks on the album that I've liked so far. The very first song, My God, I fucking love. Let Me At 'Em, I love. With Names B, shout out to Names B. That song is great.
Yeah.
Hours with Now You See and Wes Taylor.
I think that's my favorite song.
That's a banger also. Private Party, that's a banger. That comes right after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of really good songs on this. He raps his ass off, and he's the standout. I really do think like this album, like Kaleo is like, and it's funny because with Gifted Underachiever with Wes's release, Gifted Underachiever, I said the same thing with Wes. Like, dude, it's like with every release, there's like you level up. It's almost like Pokemon, where like fucking, now they've leveled up to a fucking, their next, character or whatever. Yeah. But like this album is like his stepping up party for sure, man. Like 18 songs too. I haven't been able to get the whole thing, but just within the 12 songs that I've listened to, every other song is a fucking banger, and he goes ham on every track. Like it's not like it's not like he threw, like I was talking earlier about like how Pop Smoke and Juice WRLD's album are longer, probably because of numbers and blah blah blah. And some with this, I feel like it's just packed with good music. I think it's just packed with good music. I don't think that it's 18 songs because he's just trying to like throw everything over. I think this is like 18 songs that maybe he had before, like in the tuck, and he's kind of throwing into the sound because we know from our last interview with Kaleo that he has like a whole back catalog.
He'd been working on stuff. Yeah, he had stuff in the queue. Yeah.
Yeah, so I wonder if a lot of the songs on this album, because it's such a long album, is some of the things that he had in the queue waiting to be released.
Yeah, I definitely think so, and yeah, man, it's fucking dope, and I definitely want people to check it out. Yeah, I honestly I can't wait to see some visuals and things like that, because I know he shot a music video recently. Obviously I don't know what song it was, but I'm excited to see that, and yeah, it seems like the dude's working, and yeah, it's fucking dope to see.
Yeah, man, kudos to Kaleo, man. That's a great project.
Yeah, shout out to Kaleo.
I can't wait to finish it.
And I'm definitely gonna post the link in the description about like where to listen to that record. So for the folks listening.
All right, you want to get to the retirements, the
the retirements. Yeah, let's do it.
So we want to give a farewell to J. Cole. I don't know if you heard the news, but J. Cole released something on the Players Tribune, pretty much saying, he's happy. He's got, 2 kids, 2 sons, and he'll be releasing another album and then hanging it up, The Fall Off. And so that apparently, according to him, will be his last album before retiring and being a full-time dad.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like his statement wasn't like nailed in as like retirement, but he was kind of throwing out like, this could be my retirement kind of thing.
He threw it out on the Players Tribune. You don't do that unless you have something to say.
It's true, but maybe that's just me hoping he doesn't retire. But
is that his rollout, you think? This is the rollout? He's going to say he's retiring after this album through the Players Tribune and then like release it and then like come back 2 years later with another album. I definitely believe that could happen.
Well, I don't think it's going to be a retirement. I think it's going to be, I'm going to slow down as an artist. Which is respectable. I get it. You want to be there for your family. You want to raise your kids right. I get it.
Well, here's why that makes sense to me. He owns Dreamville. He's also an executive. He's not just an artist. So
yeah, so he's not going to disappear as like
So maybe this is his way of saying maybe this is his way of saying like I've always put my music ahead of everything else. Yeah. Me retiring is me putting my family, my business, other business ventures ahead of my musical ventures. And maybe that's what like the future releases of J. Cole will be, possibly not as not as packed, I guess, or not as like focused, because he's gonna refocus his energy on other things, other business ventures, his family, so on and so forth, ahead of his music. And so this might be the last J. Cole we get that's like deep in the pocket J. Cole,
Yeah, and I also think I think that obviously him being an artist, like him putting out records, it's like obviously people aren't playing shows now, but like, when an artist puts out a record, it's like, all right, well now you got to tour for a while, and like, so I get like not wanting to like continue that path right now, especially when you have a family at home and you're trying to do things right. I get it. So yeah, maybe it's just like him taking a break from putting out records after this one. So
let's hope so, because I'm okay with that. I mean, Jay-Z released 444, you know, when he essentially did what J. Cole could be doing, which is, you know, put the business ahead of the music. And 444 is, in my opinion, his best album. So maybe it takes some pressure off of creating music, that it actually makes the music better. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
You know, but I definitely hope he just doesn't stop making music entirely, which I don't believe will happen.
I hope he, like, that doesn't happen, and maybe he has to live life a little bit and get inspired. And
I mean, the only rapper that I think kind of retired like at the top of their game, that like I feel like kind of went through with retirement, is Andre 3000. Like, he releases a verse here and there, but he hasn't released anything like, you know, in
a cohesive project.
Yeah. Like, you see him playing the flute at like the airport and the park and shit. Like, this guy seems like he's retired. He's playing the flute. Like, I don't know if he's gonna put out his next hip hop album anytime soon, unless it's like a flute inspired like piece. So who knows, man? Maybe we'll find J. Cole playing the flute.
And maybe we might. Also, we have another rapper retiring.
Your boy.
Your boy.
That's your boy.
No, you're the one who's like, you need to listen to the Logic record.
Well, I say that because I listen to a lot of music. I put you on to everything, bro.
I know. I know. I'm just fucking.
But
with you.
That record was a good record. I know you're talking about the first record, the Under Pressure.
No, that record is a good record.
But okay, so let's talk about this. The reason that I grown to not like him as much anymore, because I was excited, like, listen to this guy. I was, but the reason I was because his technical rapping abilities were great, and I always, whenever I listen to music,
he can rap his ass off.
But hold on, but when I listen to music, sometimes I'm not listening to the final product, but I'm listening to the potential. Like, because that's where we deal in record label land. You know, we're not artists, we're like pretty much executives. Like, we're listening to either the music and how good it is, or the potential for the music to be better. That's kind of,
you're right there.
And so with Logic, when he released that mixtape, he wasn't big, he wasn't popping yet. He was on his way up, but he definitely wasn't popping yet. And so for me, I was listening more to the potential than I was at the actual like final outcome of the music. But with every release, the potential, like, for him to be his own unique rapper never arrived. And instead, his technical abilities were always there, but the potential for him to be his own unique rapper kind of never really developed as well as I hoped it did. And what I mean is, that Under Pressure album sounds a lot like fucking a mashup between Drake and Kendrick music. Like, a lot of songs that sound a lot
like
a Kendrick song or a Drake song. And it was okay. I think it's okay when you release an album to sort of like get that out of the way, because these are people that influence you. But I really don't think he's grown much in the creating his own sound, creating his own, like, just his own flow, his own, it just sounds like Drake and Kendrick-y to me. I don't know.
Yeah, you could definitely tell like he's influenced by those people. Just the way he raps. Yeah, man.
And just because you can rap fast don't mean you're a good rapper. I definitely come from that.
I agree.
Fast is cool, and
I think we've definitely talked about this before, where the fast rap thing, we get it. You can rap fast, but it doesn't make you a good rapper.
The content is key. Content is key. So you can rap fast all you want, but what does it mean when, like, it's just rapping fast for the sake of rapping fast? Yeah. That's what I feel like people give Joyner shit about also. And I would disagree, because I actually think Joyner releases much better work than Logic. I think his stuff is actually much more authentic.
I mean, just look at, like, you know, like his
not his last
music
album.
Videos.
The ADHD album I didn't love so much. I don't know. Yeah. It was you know, I think that one he was going for the mainstream numbers. But
that's what it was. I mean,
prior to that, like, he's got his own. He definitely has his own voice. He can rap really well, but he also has content that's unique to his own life, and it sounds like, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, you sad? How you feel? How you feel about retiring?
Nah.
That's how I feel. That's how I
Bye.
feel. I wouldn't say like his albums have like a couple play value to me. So it's not, he doesn't have albums that I revisit.
Nah, man. I mean, I listened to. I'm not gonna lie. I listen to everything he releases. Like, I'll listen to Logic album when he puts it out.
Definitely.
But
Like if he drops an album tomorrow, I'm gonna listen to it.
I judge really good music by how much I want to share it with other people.
Yeah.
And I've never wanted to even reveal to other people that I listen to a Logic album. You know, like
except me.
Except you, because you know there's a trust thing happening between you and I.
Yes.
But like
yeah,
I'll listen to a Logic release, but it's not like I'm going around sharing it to everybody. Like I only did that once, and that was for his first album. But like after he didn't like really show enough growth in his own like unique music creating skills, and he just kind of mimicked what Jake and Kendrick do, I was like, all right. And then the whole biracial thing after a while, I was like, that's the thing you're gonna pick. I know it's a struggle. I'm not saying it's not a struggle. I'm just saying like I get it, but like there's got to be more there than just like dropping that line about you being right. Like dig a little deeper or something. I don't know. Like just it's got to be more nuanced than just like keeping that line like in every song that you have and just mentioning it. Like no, let's dig deeper. At some point, let's really dig deeper. Why do you feel this way? What happened? I don't know. Maybe there is a song and I just like skipped over it. I don't know. But he never quite panned out for me as what I thought he could have been. You know what I'm saying? The technical stuff still there. He's still an amazing technical rapper, but the content never really.
Oh yeah, no, he can.
Maybe he
I will
that.
give him props forever. Yeah. He is. He can rap his ass off. He definitely can.
But the thing about releasing music consistently is like I feel like the first albums for a lot of people tend to be their best because that's like your life's work is the first album. Like everything that you experience in your life, you can put in that.
That's
first
how
album.
it helped get him where he is.
And I feel like it's usually kind of downhill from there because once you say everything you need to say about your life, you got to find other things to say. And with Logic's life now, what is there to say in his life? He doesn't leave the house. I know because I know enough about him. He doesn't really leave the house. He's an introvert. He's got a kid, so he's a dad. So he doesn't really have time to do anything besides being a dad. Got a great wife who's probably banging every day. Like, like there's not much to talk about with him, He seems like he has a great life. He's not it doesn't seem like he's going through any sort of relationship issues. He's enjoying being a dad. He stays in the house and plays video games. He's got I guess he's got a deal with Twitch.
A Twitch deal now. Like, he's got it made. He's got it made. Yeah.
There's nothing to talk about. And he's not one to like floss his like flex, so that he would like so what is there for him to talk about? So I can see why he's like, I've released
just like done with it. Yeah.
No, the music's not gonna get any better from here because I don't have anything to really say anymore. So might as well, walk away, with respect and while I'm on top. I get it.
Yeah. I respect the dude. Do what you do, man. Like, so you're gonna be sad though?
I will see. Maybe
the fans want to know.
Maybe if I listen to his next album and like he finally like kind of hits on all cylinders, I'll be like, oh man, Logic is finally here. And then like I'll miss up. But right now, I'm like, all right, like live your life. I get it. You've done enough in the rap game. Like you've proven that you're a really good rapper. You gained a massive fan base. You got paid millions by Def Jam. You did it all. You got it. I'll see. See you. Have a good time.
Yeah.
And
fair.
That like I could see how especially if you're I don't know if he's sensitive. It doesn't seem like the type of guy that like really lets other people, the outside world, really affect his positivity, which I fuck with. Logic on that level.
Yeah, no, I do like that about him.
But man, he's been the corny claim in terms of rapper who are corny or people consider corny. He'd probably have to be number one on that list. I don't know about what you think, but he's probably number one on the list of people that of rappers who are considered corny.
Yeah, that's a good segue for our next topic.
That's why I'm doing it.
What makes a rapper corny?
You asking me?
Yeah.
All right.
What do you got? For you, like, what is something that you're like, this dude's fucking corny? This rapper's corny.
I think, well, there's a lot of different things. Okay, I'm going to hit on one and maybe we can just, like, I'll say one point and you say another point because I have a bunch of points. I just want to keep rambling. So I'll say one and then you say one and I'll jump back and say another one. So first thing that makes a rap corny in my eyes is when they talk about shit that they don't live. That's a very easy one, and that's what a lot of rappers do. And I know like a lot of rappers do that. Like most
like
rappers
a facade.
It's like, but I'm saying like the 6ix9ine shit. I'm talking about the 6ix9ine shit. Like if you're doing what 6ix9ine did, like you're not really about that life, but you knew that was the way to sell records, but you're not really about that life. And then maybe later on you become about that life because now you're living that life because that's what you're rapping about, like 6ix9ine did, and maybe even fucking Tory Lanez, who knows? That's one level of corniness, is the fake and the funk level of corniness. We're trying to be harder than you actually are.
I get that. Mine would be people that like rappers that are clearly, I mean, it's kind of off yours a little bit where they're like trying really hard. It's not coming off as genuine.
Yeah. They're not authentic.
Yeah, it's like I can't stand that. That's always something like
I think it goes a long way with in marketability. If you look like you're acting like a rapper, like you're going through, sometimes you can fucking, if you're not good enough at acting like you're supposed to be there, people can smell it. People can sniff it on you.
It's like that. What is that movie with fuck, I can't think of it. It's like it has Chris Rock in it, and they're like a rap group, and they're like, I can't think of the fucking name.
I remember the movie. I just can't remember the title. I remember what
it's kind of like that. It's like those dudes weren't living that life, but it was like
that's a great movie. What was that movie called? Damn, I forget.
Yes. It was like C something. I don't know, but
C4. His name was C4.
Was it?
I think so.
Yeah. But yeah, it kind of reminds me of that. But
yeah, no, I agree. And then some people you can smell it on. Blueface, I feel like, I don't know, like people say he Crip, but there's a level of corny. Maybe his corniness comes from a different place, but like I think because he's such a corny personality, but he tries to come off like he's Crip, like there's something there that's just even more corny because he's kind of like he's kind of a clown in a way. I hate to say it, but Blueface is like he's a clown. Like you see he has clown tendencies, which is fine if you're a clown, if you like to make people laugh. But like I don't really like. It's hard to see you as being like a hardened Crip and doing the Crip walk or whatever. When I only see you really doing clown shit, So like, I don't know. So maybe he's that level. I don't know if he kind of comes to mind when you think of. Is there a rapper for you that comes to mind when you think of that? I know you're very quick not to talk shit about a rapper because I know
I got a list. No. I have a list in my phone. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I wouldn't say like a direct person, but
oh fuck yeah, I'm naming names. I'm gonna keep naming names. I'll
fucking name names, dude. Call them out.
Logic and to some extent Joyner, but Logic. Let's talk about Logic first.
Okay.
We just talked about him, so this is gonna be a quick point. The whole point with Logic, dude, pretty much apes other musicians' music, other musicians' flows, other musicians' rap styles, even down to the content. Like that Under Pressure song when he's like doing the whole thing about talking, like writing a letter, like talking on the phone, the voice message thing. That was Kendrick's whole shit off Good Kid, Mad City. That was his whole shit. Like he literally fucking made that record that it down to the fucking duration. I think both records are like 9 minutes long, but he pretty much took a Kendrick song, the "Sing About Me" song, and made it his Under Pressure song. That's all he did in my eyes. Like and then he did the whole voicemail shit. So he's one person that I think is corny by way of lack of original content.
Okay. Yeah, no, it makes sense. We spoke on it before this, like before we got onto the corny rapper thing. It's like, yeah, he bites. That's what he does.
And
his flow, he bites his flow. Like that's what he does.
And for Joyner, I would say he's corny, or people like I think people claim that he's corny because I love Joyner, but people don't like Joyner, and I've spoken to many people who don't like Joyner. But I think the reason they don't like Joyner is because he's corny in the fact that he's too like he's almost too goody two shoes-y. You know what I'm saying? Like he like, you know, down to his like hating of trap music and mumble rappers and being like, I have it all figured out. Like I think he's a little bit too he's a goody two shoes rapper, you know? He's got it all. He's almost like Russ. That's what I think makes Russ corny as well. They got it all figured out. They know they're smart guys, but they're so smart that that's what they kind of flex is like they have it all figured out over other people who don't have it figured out. So they kind of hold that like that intellectualism over other rappers' heads. And I feel like maybe that's what people consider them to be corny for.
Yeah. Yeah. So that, I can't think of anything.
What do you think? What do you think makes Joe Budden corny? Like he's been blamed for being corny in his career. What do you think makes Joe Budden corny?
I don't find him corny.
I don't either. But here's what we're doing.
I find Joe Budden.
We're both cornball. Both of us are kind of corny.
No, I'm corny as fuck, and I know this. It's okay.
But I know this because it comes with the territory of being, you know, somebody who likes to tell jokes. I like to joke around a lot. So like inherently,
like silly, but
that's why I think that's corny.
That's why I think exactly. I think that's why people call him corny because he's silly. He's a silly dude. He jokes around a lot. He laughs a lot. Like, yeah, man. Like do I find him corny? No, I really don't.
I mean, I take that back. Yeah, he has his corny moments. He does have his corny moments. Dude, there's sometimes you listen to it on the podcast, he has moments where he's just like being so silly, but he'll like lean into the corniness. Like he knows he's being silly.
I think that's part of it though.
But that's why for me that's part of his charm because he's like rappers
part
like
of the entertaining
mentality of being
factor.
Cool. Like
I think that's why like it that makes him entertaining.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't come off like I don't think it comes off as corny. I think it comes off as like him being sincere and like dude, if you find something funny, you're being like.
But here's the thing: it's a double-edged sword because in hip hop, machismo is a huge fucking thing, man. Being a
that's true. That's true.
Tough acting dude that never quite says or does anything uncool. That's like the unfair image that all rappers have to portray at all times. And Joe doesn't really abide by that. He like plays the guy sometimes, but then he'll flip and do some silly shit. You know,
and he plays into the silly shit, and I think that's what makes that podcast great. So I'm about it. So
well, you know, I love that Maul always plays the straight man. Like he always is the uncorny guy, which makes Joe's corniness even more like heightened. Yeah, I like that about them. The dynamic. Yeah. I think Rory's kind of just like the you know how like every talk show has like the side, or not every talk show, but back in the day that in the talk show there was always like the side guest that was always there, like Andy Richter on Conan O'Brien. That's kind of like what Rory is.
I could see that.
But yeah, all in all, corniness isn't always that bad. It's just there's levels to the corniness. There's levels to it.
Yeah.
Some you respect, some you don't. I think there's only one thing left to talk about, right?
Yeah, so
it's the most recent thing to talk about also.
Yeah, so it's the Kanye West tweets.
Do you want to start with the tweets or do you want to start with the whole rally thing? Because that was bizarre in itself.
Yeah, well, like let's go with the rally stuff first because that came first, and then the tweets happened.
Yeah, want to break down what happened?
Do you know more about like what he exactly said? Because like I wouldn't say I know exactly what he said, but like,
I've only seen clips, but I know the clips I saw weren't great. There was one where he was crying. He was literally crying like a baby.
I did see that.
He was crying because his dad, I think, almost had him aborted, and he almost aborted his kid, and he was crying because he could have never lived, and maybe his daughter could have never lived. And he was like bawling he was bawling his eyes out over it.
No, he seemed like legit upset. Like,
Just the thought of like you may have, dude. I shouldn't be alive right now. My mom wasn't trying to have a fucking baby. She was just trying to fuck. We've all been in this predicament. I'm crying over it.
Yeah.
So he was crying about the fact that he could have not been alive, but he is. So I same with his daughter. Like that was maybe different, because maybe that was him making a decision to try to get an abortion. So I could see that one. But just crying over it in front of a whole bunch of people, that's the part that really, I mean, we all know that this is a mental health thing. I think anybody that's a smart person, that's because there's a lot of people who are idiots who are like, just let him live his life. You libtards are controlling his blah blah. No, man, he's having this is the thing about,
he needs help. He needs help.
Yes, he needs help. And I feel like people ignore mental health issues because, like, if you can't see it, you can't fucking leave it. I think that's what they're like. I don't know. Yeah. I don't claim to know what they fucking think, but mental health issues are a fucking thing. It's the most obvious shit in the world. You just look at numbers of the suicide rates, and you know it's a fucking thing. Bipolar disorder, it's a fucking thing, man. This shit exists. And I think that's what it is. He's either going through mania right now, and I think that's probably what it is. He's bipolar. He's going through mania. I don't know if you've ever dealt with somebody who's gone through a manic phase before. It could be weird. It could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think. I'm trying to think, and I probably have, but no, he's clearly like, especially.
I have, and it looks like this. I have, and it looks like that.
Yeah.
Somebody who's like has all these like thoughts and ideas and like seemingly excited and energetic, and then shit could go left. Shit could literally, the highs and the lows of having bipolar disorder. It's you can be energetic one day and then the next day you'll be dead because you killed yourself. It's like the highs and lows can get that high and that low. It's not, so that's why you have to check when they say check on your friends, check on your family. That's what they mean, because they might look great. They might be seemingly like interacting and looking great, and they have all these ideas, and it seems like they're living life. But it could literally be a manic episode that they're going through, and they like the lows haven't hit yet, and because it looks like they're doing well, and you don't know enough to really kind of know what they're going through. The next day they might going through that low, and then you'll find out then that they were, not as well as you thought they were, and that's kind of what's happening here with Kanye. Like, to the outside world, it's just a man who's trying to run for president, but we know that this is a history with Kanye. He's told us he's bipolar, and we know his history of doing this because he's done it before. Yeah. We can't ignore it anymore. We can't be like, oh, man, this is Kanye being Kanye. No, man.
Look at
this shit.
Yeah, look at his tweets. Like even that was just like some of the stuff he was saying. It's like he's very manic.
Drake.
His tweets. Oh, I get what you're doing. He deleted that one, but there are screenshots of it. But yeah, man, he's just like, where does Drake come into this? Like,
well, that's, man, dude. He, like I said, he's got a lot of thoughts in his head. If he's going through mania, all sorts of thoughts are going through his head. It's that's what he's going through. So he might somehow connect his issues with Drake to his issues with his wife, to his issues with his family. Who knows where it's going? But that's because we know it's his thought process so erratic. Because last week, he canceled his run for presidency, or at least that's what we were told.
Yeah, and then he did a rally.
He never submitted the papers, the signatures that he needed to put himself on the ballot in North Carolina. So it's just like he's going through a manic phase, and that's what's happening. And it sucks to see, because we all love Kanye, or at least we all did love Kanye. I know it's harder to love somebody who's going through mental health issues because it gets frustrating. But I feel like that's all of Kanye fans gets to see, or gets to experience what it is like to support somebody who suffers from mental health issues. If you don't know anybody who's ever suffered from mental health issues and you're a fan of Kanye, now you fucking know. So stop defending it like this is him living his life, because no, this is him going through a mental health crisis. And to be mad at him, like that's why I stopped being mad at him, because I know it's his mind is he goes through disillusionment phases. You know what I'm saying? So I can't stay mad at him. I'm just worried about him, and I hope that his family is supporting him through this, because he called out his family in his tweets. you know, and I mean, it's not like he was wrong in some of the shit that he said, to be honest with you. Like the whole Kris Jenner, like, you know,
Yeah,
you're doing
get
amazing,
that.
baby, as she's like filming her daughter posing for Playboy. It's fucking gross. That's gross. So I don't disagree with him there. Like that's fucking weird. You know, like whether or not like that's what the road his kids choose to go down. Whatever. Like I'm not gonna control other people's bodies. But if you're a fucking mother and you're like, you're doing amazing, baby, as your daughter's posing for Playboy, I can see how that's gross. I can see how that's gross. I'm not gonna pretend like I can't understand why he would be fucking have a problem with that. I understand, especially when that's your wife. I get it. I get it. But not excusing any of what he said. I understand where the thought process is coming from. The fact that he's putting it out there and really kind of putting a spotlight on his wife like that, do not understand that at all.
Yeah, but like tweeting it like is not gonna help the situation.
And that's why I hope Kim, and Kim is getting support through this.
Yeah.
Because I can imagine life is not easy, dealing with somebody that goes through manic phases like that, especially when you're a public figure. Man, I hope that she's, handling this well and she has support in her life also, because it cannot be easy to deal with a husband who's going through manic phases like that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely going through it, and I hope he gets some help, and I don't know if he's surrounded by like yes men type of people, or
we all know that.
I hope he surrounds himself with better people that care about him. And
he says himself that he has no friends. He said it multiple times. Put out a song about it. He did a radio interview about it. Fucking Dave Chappelle flew today to go see him because he probably doesn't have any other close friends or any friends who really kind of care about him enough to check on him. Who knows? But he's mentioned before that he has no real friends. So, I mean, when you push people away, I mean, like that's why I worry about his marriage. Like, he's putting his wife through a lot right now, putting his business out there and her business out there like that. I like I said, I hope that Kim is getting her support, because it cannot be easy as a wife to deal with this, especially when the whole public, 30 million people on Twitter are watching this happen, and then millions more that that the news recycles. So just prayers to Kanye and prayers to Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, I hope he pulls through and he gets better.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is we covered a lot of stuff on the sidebars.
Man, we talked for a while. I talked a lot. So, I always talk a lot.
That's all good. So yeah, that concludes our episode 34 episode. Like, subscribe, buy some merch, tell your friends about us, share things, all that stuff.